My name is Yasser. I have been living in the United States since October 2013. I came here on a special visa, as IV program for the people who worked for the U.S. government in Iraq after the 4th 2003, and I'm currently doing working with the JP's company and live in Lowell, and I like it. You want to be in the U.S. society, the freedom of speech and the American dream. So that was, since I was a child, I wanted to come to the U.S. Because I watch a lot of U.S. Movies, but there was a reason I ended up here, because after I got involved with the war, helping the troops, and worked as a contractor, and there was a program for the people, as I mentioned in the beginning. So I applied and I got my visa. It's a little bit long process. It's been a lot of scamming, and then I interviewed. So it took me almost 3.5 years, and I got my visa. To start with, from the beginning, before I got involved with the U.S. on that job I used to do back home, and the troops, they came, and then Saddam was dictator, obvious, and then as we heard about the Iraqi Operation Freedom, and that's something I got to meet soldiers and talk to them personally, the reason why they joined the army and why they ended up in Iraq. So I got to see them as brothers. They're fighting what they believe. So and then I became more into this. I want to get involved more and more to work with, help the the American civilians as engineers, and then we were working as protectors. So I always wanted, as I mentioned, I always wanted to came here, but and then I ended up here. So when I came here, I was so I got to see the other part of people, didn't know what's exactly happening in the ground there. So I get to see different people than the soldiers. So the soldiers get to see that's what's going on, and so I get to see some prejudice attitude toward you, because you're just belonging. I know there are a lot of negativities in Iraqi streets, and a lot of soldiers in there and telling stories, but we are also part of the society. We get involved and we helped out almost for 10 years to the 2003 until the troops left. So so and I get to see the freedom. Actually, I still I have been here 3 years, but the American I got to make friends, and they've been so supportive, and I got to achieve a lot of things. So as far in the beginning, I was trying to come to the some places where in the Arab community are the majority, like I can find, but so I can get help in the community, but I ended up Louisville, but people were so supportive, and they helped me maybe more than my people. Start realizing more, or like overlook things, like when people start recognize my accent or ask me. Usually people used to ask me question like, where are you from? I have an accent, and like people being friendly. So I got to know, after the election, and I see how many people in this society, they don't want us here. They want, like, basically. So I become more conscious about this issue, like people. So I don't know if I'm become more conscious about this, so always in my mind, and people look at me like I'm just people don't like me or being friendly, or so that's affecting my daily life actually. After I got here, I got chance to apply for my family through the organization called IOM. So they got accepted and got case number. So and I settled in Louisville, and I got this house through Habitat for Humanity, and so I had hope that my family would join me one day. So that's the first thing I thought about when I see Iraq was in the list, and that's affected me. And I mean, so I cannot lose hope that that's not happening. That's my family will join me one day, my nephews, and then two of my brothers got involved in this, and they were doing this military job too as well. So they were eligible for a special visa, but it didn't come. I'm the only one who came, but the special immigration program is no longer there, so they have to come through refugee. But with this, with this office, they don't accept anyone from Iraq. So whether if you helped or you need refugee or you're on a special visa, so it is I have to decide that whether I'm gonna accept the fact that I'm gonna live without my family here, or are they gonna come here, or I should return to them.
What message would you want to say to America?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, like I was a kid, I always wanted to come to the US. So we look to America, and with this short period that the progress they have, they reached that this freedom and then life, and a lot of people on either side of the world wanted just to be in this society. So when we got here, we'll appreciate this life more than anyone who was born here. We'll do the best we can. So we try to get into the society, avoid any illegal things, and just live life with this actual word of freedom, actual real life of freedom. So we really appreciate this life, and then we are not threatening or taking anyone. I mean, we are trying so hard to be as the best neighbors, best workers, and best citizens.